session 2 of how God relates to time. In this session, we're going to consider the first of our 4 views, God outside of time. We're going to look at some biblical support for the view, explore a view of time that it implies, and then we're going to consider some philosophical support and challenges to the view. God outside of time has historically been the dominant view of God in time. This view is sometimes referred to as divine timelessness. This view is held by thinkers like St. Augustine, Thomas Aquinas, and John Calvin. The basic idea is this: God doesn't move from moment to moment the way that we do. For God, the past doesn't go away, and the future isn't coming. God doesn't grow older, God doesn't change, God doesn't learn new things. God exists in one eternal moment. And I know this may sound strange and kind of incomprehensible to us, beings that know nothing apart from living in a sequence of moments, but God is fundamentally different than us, right? And isn't this what Scripture communicates? Should we expect to understand everything about God? Of course not. But what about God's relationship to time? Is this one of those things we should dismiss and say, I guess we'll just never know? Consider a few passages. Isaiah 57:15. For thus says the one who is high and lifted up, who inhabits eternity, whose name is holy. Or Psalm 90, verse 2. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Malachi 3:6. For the Lord does not change. Hebrews 13:8. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. 2 Peter 3:8. But do not overlook this one fact, beloved, that with the Lord 1 day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as 1 day. In reading verses like these, your conclusion might be that God is outside of time. He's eternal. He doesn't change. Therefore, he's got to be outside of time. So let's keep going with this. But first, we need to think about what this means for our view of time. Remember, we're thinking about time as a succession of moments, and if God is outside of that succession, which would make sense because he's not limited by it, right? He's not trapped in it. In fact, he sees all of time, all of moments, all at once. This implies thinking of time more like a static set of moments that are all equally present to God. It's like God has the position of a reader of a book, right? And the book is time, the beginning, the end, and every story is equally present, and God knows and sees all parts of the story all at once. What we refer to as past and present and future are all equally existent to God. This is commonly referred to as the B theory of time. Sometimes it may be referred to simply as the tenseless view of time because there's no past or future. There's no Johnny ran yesterday and will run tomorrow. Johnny is just always running. He's running at this point and this point and this point, and all points are equally present, at least from God's perspective. Now, why would thinkers hold to this view? Beyond the biblical passages that I mentioned. The biggest reason this has been the popular view for so long is that it's related to the concept of divine perfection and divine simplicity. God is wholly complete. He's lacking in nothing. At the same time, God has no parts, no physical or metaphysical parts. He simply is. There's no change in God. If he is perfection, then any change we bring about would be imperfection, and God would no longer be God, and that's just nonsense. God doesn't change. The only way that he doesn't change is because he doesn't experience a succession of moments. If so, he would change. He never learns anything new. He's not surprised by anything. In fact, he knows everything. He knows everything because he sees everything, past, present, and future. This view, at least up to this point, may sound compelling, but there are also some problematic implications as well. First off, there are other Bible passages that seem to indicate God does experience time. We'll look at some of those in our next session, but there are some philosophical problems as well. Here's one, I would say, like umbrella problem, under which some of the others come. How can a timeless God relate to temporal creatures? If God never changes, then what does it mean to be in a relationship with a human being? If all moments exist at once, then isn't everything determined? I mean, it simply is the way that it is. There's no true responding to one another. The future moment that may seem like a response to us, it actually already exists. Notice this puts a damper on free will, as well as just the idea of God with us. If God is timeless, then what even is now to God? Can God know now? Would that be something that God is lacking? What does this view do to our own existence? Like if the past me exists now, and the future me exists, and the present me exists, and all these coexist, then how is it that I persist through time? I can't say that that used to be me or that will be me. Those me currently exist.
Who are you guys? We're you, dude! No way. No way. Yes way, Ted! Look, we know how you feel.
In fact, there's something like an infinite number of me's that exist right now at every moment of time. This view also implies that God is eternally acting in all things at once. There is not truly a time when God created. He's creating eternally. Jesus didn't suffer on the cross in the past. He is suffering on the cross eternally. On this view, God doesn't, and in fact, he can't experience emotions. He may hold like an eternal attitude towards something, but he doesn't become angry when something bad happens. In fact, that bad thing is eternally happening. So as you see, this view may champion a view of perfection and transcendence, eternality, omniscience. It comes with some possible hindrances as well. In the next session, we'll turn to the opposite position. What if God exists inside of time? I'll see you in session 3.